All right, this is just going to be a quick update. I'm going to show you something about my Hydros Plus Turbo issue that may have been the problem. It's hard to see. I was cleaning this off because Kevin sent me a new turbo. He overnighted it. Again, customer service is amazing. And I actually decided to take a 1/16 drill bit and drill out the restrictor to effectively twice as big as what it is. Maybe even a little bit bigger than that, twice as big. And that's just a visual guess, right? I think he said it's a 1 millimeter or whatever it was. But I drilled it out because I'm not going to take any more chances. This is still somewhat restrictive, but I didn't want my oil restrictor to maybe be the reason my turbo failed. Now, this is my old one, back when it was still several parts, or two different parts. And I was cleaning it out with brake cleaner, and I want to show you something. I'm going to fill this up with brake cleaner. Okay. Now I'm going to plug this hole, and I'm going to tip it like this. Look at that. Nothing is coming out. Well, now it's starting to. It's just barely dripping, and that's brake cleaner. Now it's starting to. So I am wondering if it was just... And this just happened. When I tested this earlier, I turned it over and I held it for probably 30 seconds. I shook it and nothing was coming out. Now stuff is starting to come out. It's starting to drip. But I suspect that maybe this restrictor just got clogged with something. I'm going to clean it with my air compressor real quick so you can see the difference in the hole sizes between the existing one, which again, Kevin says should work. And in theory it will, but if your oil gets a little dirty, and mine only had about 50 hours on a fresh oil change, but regardless, let me show you what that looks like after it's clean. All right, it is going to be impossible to see in there. There we go. All right, so there's the hole. And incidentally, even after it started dripping, I took this needle. This is the smallest needle I could find in my wife's kit, and this just doesn't focus, does it? Anyways, and I still couldn't poke it through the hole, but as I forced it pretty hard, it eventually felt like it broke through, and I could get this needle through the hole. Okay, so I think that maybe my restrictor, and I'm kind of moving it back and forth, and it rubs solidly on the outsides. But there you go. That's the size hole of the original restrictor. And this is what I drilled it out to. I don't know if that helps. See the difference? The red stuff in there is like an oil grease or whatever lubricant that Kevin put on when he pre-installed the restrictor, or the company that he has fabricating this thing for him. But other than that, this hole is easily twice to 3 times as big as that little bitty hole. So I think maybe there was an issue with oil. This thing actually did get clogged, possibly, and then that limited oil to my turbo, and maybe that's why it failed. So we'll see if this works better. And I'm filming this section afterwards. It dawned on me that now that I have cleaned this thoroughly and poked a pin through it, it's kind of back to how it was originally, that I should do a second drip test to see if it was clogged. So we're gonna do this live together. I haven't done this before. Add some brake fluid and plug up the hole and tilt it, and that's just what happens. It just starts pouring out. So that's kind of the after I cleaned it. So I'm pretty confident that this was clogged, and maybe that was just severely restricting oil to the turbo. You know, you would think with the oil pressure buildup that it would just blow out whatever, but it was pretty clogged in there. I mean, I soaked it with brake cleaner, I blew it out with my compressor, and then I still had to stab it with the little needle to really clean out the hole. So it was just clogged.